What is up everyone, Parox here, and I'm back with another How to Tank video. This time, I'm going to be talking about the steps to a successful game. And there's a lot of things you need to do and be thinking about constantly during a match to make it a great game. And the first is, you have 30 seconds of battle time before the match actually starts, so analyze the team. Looking at their team roster, I guess you could call it, I see that they don't have very many fast tanks other than maybe a Panther or two and the Scouts, a 1390 as well. And also they don't have any arty, so that makes going to the hill and succeeding on the hill a very viable strategy. So that's what I'm going to do here. Now once you know where you want to go, you're going to have to figure out how you want to get there. And this is pretty self-explanatory. On Karelia, you're just going to drive straight up the hill. But you could be more aggressive and go all the way to H8 on their side of the donut and get up there. But because there is the possibility of 1390 running into me, I don't feel like getting clipped in the rear for a crap ton of my health, so I'm just going to stay safe and go up my side of the hill. And since there's no arty, there's nothing that can click me once I'm up there. So I pretty much have free control of the hill. I do have to be careful though, because I know that there are guys on the E line that can shoot across from me. So there is one scout here. I'm going to take him out quickly. I'm still going to drive to the other end of this hill, just in case their enemies want to try and rush me. And then I'm going to take the scout out. So the second step is to assess the situation. Once you get to your position, you want to assess how much damage you think you're going to be doing here, how many shots you think you're going to have, because it's always about having your gun in the game. You need to constantly do damage in order to have a successful game. And that seems self-explanatory, but the more damage you do, you know, the more chance your team has of killing stuff, the higher your win rate becomes, because you're damaging more and more things. So I do have shots in this E75, I'm going to load some heat shells, just to make sure I pen him, because he does have a tricky armor profile when angling. So now I'm assessing my situation. I realize that I'm not getting much damage here, and there is a crap ton of their enemy tanks at K9. So after I realize that I'm not going to get any more shots on this E75, I'm planning my next attack route. And I should have been paying attention, because see, the T95 was slowly moving towards our base. And so are the T34 and T29. You can see it kind of on the minimap. And if I was paying more attention to the minimap, I would have known that they would have been pushing towards my guys any time now. But since I wasn't doing damage, I decided to drive over here. Luckily I don't take so many hits in the side. And get behind this rock, because I feel that this is a pretty good position once they are pushing up. And I didn't realize until now that they were pushing up. So now it's time to talk about target prioritization. So what you want to look for first is the most dangerous target, which is right now the T95. The second thing is you want to look at who fired, and the third is protecting your platoon mate. If you're in a platoon, you always want to keep them alive too, just because they can help you and you can help them, more so than, say, your teammates can help each other. Now I call Nobby over, I'm platooned with him, and say shoot the T95, he's the most dangerous. So he does. But now it's time for me to get out of here. I'm trying to plan the safest route here. Unfortunately I get shot at, and I was gonna drive straight into the T34. That could have worked out well, but I decided I want to live for a little longer before all of their tanks decide to turn around and come and kill me. So I want to fall back to where this WZ-111 is. Now since we have guys sitting back on that corner, and also guys on the hill, I decided that this spot was going to be very useful, because the enemies have 3 really different lanes of fire that are coming at them and that they can shoot at. So right now the target is this KV-5. He is the strongest tank that I can see and shoot at, so I'm going to engage him right now. I do see this T-34 coming up behind me, and that's another thing you want to do, is always protect your flank. I do see the T-28 prototype going up the hill. I have a shot, and he's getting close to Nobby, and I want to keep my platoon mate alive, so I go and engage him. Now I see that the T-34 fired, so I'm going to go engage him, shoot, and then disengage him again, and re-engage on the KV-5. Because since the T-34 is most likely reloaded, this guy is now the most dangerous target. Now that he's out, The priority target would be the T-34 behind me because he just shot and killed a tank. So I know for sure that I can go in and kill him without being hurt. And you also want to think about how you can preserve your health and take enemies away. And shooting at guys that aren't looking at you and have fired is the best way to do that. However, you will have to trade some HP in order to get some damage, but that's just how it works. So what I'm waiting for now is the T-95 and the T-34 both know that I'm here. So what I'm going to do is wait for them to shoot, because as soon as they shoot, I can pop out, I'll have a few seconds, I can aim, and then I can kill them without even being shot back at. Because right now, the T-34 and the T-95 aren't protected by their teammates. So I'm going to aim in, shoot the commander's hatch, and take out the T-95. The T-34 also shot, and even if he didn't, he's not even looking at me, so I get a free shot on him. But I see that Nobby is not doing so well. And now, since the guys over there on the hill area are dead, that frees me up to swing behind the E-75 and the Panther II. I see the T-34 is on the hill, so there's nothing going to be protecting these guys. I'll shoot them in the side. Unfortunately, the Panther II killed Nobby. I couldn't reload fast enough. And then I'll take out the Panther. Now, instead of driving forward out into the open, you always want to stay more in cover, find some natural cover, maybe some dead enemies. Because if I drove out there, there's a chance the T-34 could turn around and try to kill me. And I take out the T-34 because he's not looking at me, and then boom, free kill. The remainder of this match is basically me driving around, fumbling for the last few kills. So there's nothing really there that I can use to teach you about how to be successful in a match. But just to briefly go over the points that I talked about in this video. Step 1 is analyze the team. Are there a lot of TDs? Or maybe a lot of fast tanks that you're going to have to be worried about? Step 2 is to plan your route. How can you get to your position the fastest and make the most advantage out of that position? You always want to prioritize your targets based on the most dangerous tank first. The second is who fired. And 3 is protecting yourself and your platoon mate. If there's someone coming up behind you and there's a more dangerous tank in front of you, you're going to want to go for the guy that's behind you if the tank in front of you, say, is engaged on someone else. Because the other tank, the one that's behind you, is a more immediate threat. And you always want to keep assessing the situation. You need to keep your gun in the game so that you're always doing damage. Also, if you're not doing damage and your position is, say, a meh spot, and your team is dying around you, you need to make sure you relocate to do the most damage you can to try to ensure your team a win. Anyways, I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope you learned some things. As always, leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. Link will be in the description below, and thanks for watching.